The pony walls are in and we've got everything set. Now it's time to go through and lock them down by putting in the anchor bolts into into the footers and getting the thing stabilized, and then leveling everything out and making sure everything is plumb and level. So we'll get on that today and see. We're in between thunderstorms, so work in between the rain showers, but we'll get her done. So let's get started. Once the pony walls were built, it was a matter of leveling everything out and getting things straightened up in order to be able to bolt everything down. While a lot of construction tasks are quite repetitive, this included, they are still required in order to get things done. So I had to go through and mark out exactly where all my bolt placements were going to go, then drill through all of the lower 2x6 pressure treated wood in order to get ready to put in all my anchor bolts. So the process starts with this, and then it comes to drilling out the actual foundation for the bolt placement. The entire time I faced nothing but thunderstorms and rain, which made the process even a little bit more daunting and more difficult to deal with. Well, I've got all my pilot holes drilled through the bottom 2x6s or 2x4s, and so now we'll go ahead and get everything centered on the footers, and hopefully we'll be in a little bit better shape. And we're going to start leveling things out, but all in all, I'm pretty pleased with how things turned out, and we'll just keep on going. But it's coming along. Well, I have to say I have some very cool neighbors. Because I'm out here working all day long, my neighbor was nice enough to bring me some lunch. So I think that's pretty great. Made some nice chicken soup and got some bread along with that. So that's pretty cool. It's one thing I gotta really appreciate about the people of Montana versus where I came from.
is that everybody really does look out for you here, and I'm pretty impressed with that. What I'm using to anchor down the pony walls are these Simpson strong tie bolts. They're 5/8 by 6 inch, and they're the kind that they're a wedge anchor. So unlike the the ones on the footers that were cemented in, these ones are drilled in and then driven into the hole and then tightened down. So we'll get busy getting these installed and get one step closer.
Whether it's looking at my whiteboard or looking at the actual project, sometimes these things can be extremely overwhelming. One thing I've learned to do is take it one step at a time and take on each individual step in order to make a complete project. This is especially true when it comes to doing the work to get out of the foundation and start building upward. There's a lot of little tasks that have to happen in order to make this thing stable and level for us to do the floor and then start building the walls. So it's important for me to just take it one thing at a time and make sure I get that correct before I move on to the next level of the project.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within.
Well, I went ahead and got all the holes are drilled now for the anchor bolts throughout the entire foundation, which is a plus. And now we'll start anchoring things down and leveling them out. But we're getting closer a little bit at a time. It's making progress, but I'm glad to have these things bolted down. I'll probably leave the 2x4 braces in place as I roll on the floor joist, just to be on the safe side, to give ourselves a little bit more stability. But overall, it looks like we're making some good progress. Now I'm just kind of sitting this out. As you can see, we got some thunderstorms rolling through. It's raining right now, so I'm just kind of hanging out and waiting for that to kind of slow down before I get out and work some more. So one area that I've got to correct is that not all boards are straight, and it seems that there's a lot of twisting in the pressure treated 2x4s, and so I've got to get those plates down and bolted down and settled so that I can make sure this wall's straight, because I've got some areas that are kind of sticking up, and I've got to make sure that those are flat as possible anyway. So I'll get started doing that, and then we'll level everything out.
Out of sand, reaching for the ground. As willows align, we lose track of time. Let
for the most part, the tops of these are fairly level. I've got a couple of little low spots and dips. Right here where the junction is for the crawl space is a little bit wonkier, just because I got the separate pillars and they settled a little bit different. So we'll get busy leveling those out first, and then we'll proceed to the rest of the walls, making sure that they're totally level and plumb, so that way I can get the top plates on and secure everything down.
The final step in this process was putting in the double top plates, which means putting in another set of 2x4s on top of the pony walls that were already built. This is meant to stabilize the wall, as also give it its height in order to support the I-joists that will be going on top of it. This allowed me to go ahead and make sure everything was totally level and set, so that the I-joists will rest evenly across the entire foundation as we continue to build. This is a pretty simplistic process, but one of the most important in this is it puts us at our final stage of the pony walls and gets us done with this below ground work or below foundation work, in order to make sure we can process forward and start working on getting in the flooring. Well, so we've got all of the pony walls are done, all the bracing is completed, everything is bolted down and leveled out, and so now we are ready for the next step, which is going to be adding the floor joists to that foundation. It's a little bit wet out here still, not really wet, but the ground is still pretty soft, and so I'm going to wait until tomorrow to actually move those things with the tractor. Hit my neighbor up again. He graciously let me utilize his skid steer, and we'll get some materials moved around, get them placed up for the build, and move the floor joists. So that is our next big project, is getting getting all the flooring in and getting ready to move on to the main part of the build. So little by little, we are making progress, and pretty excited about all that. Anyway, if you like this type of thing, please remember to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out quite a bit. And if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them down below. That would be great. I'd love to receive the comments from everybody. Anyway, appreciate it. Thanks for watching.